to be going okay, and it looks like we're live, and we'll be starting the broadcast shortly. We're just waiting for people to come in. They're running a little bit behind schedule this morning, this evening, and we're getting our technical issues sorted out pretty well. So quite happy with the way things are developing. So I think we're going to begin now. So in 3, 2, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me here on Social Video Supercoach. This is David Christopher Salomon, and I'm coming to you from Adelaide, South Australia. Today, we're talking about how to become a YouTube authority, and I've subtitled it the ABC of YouTube. Now, many people may think that becoming an ace on YouTube is really about going viral. And in a sense, that was true in years gone by, and certainly the big numbers is useful to grow your audience and get your message out. But we're going to pick up on some of the early work done by James Wedmore and Brandon Lucero, two gentlemen in California who did a lot of the early work in this, and you know, by and large their work is still current, because it's not so much about the platform, but really about the communication and how to develop the relationships with your audience, knowing that YouTube as an organization wants to know, or wants to reward those broadcasters who develop a strong connection with their audience through their platform, and profit for YouTube. I've called it the ABC of YouTube, just as a little mnemonic, a way of remembering 3 or 4 things. There is in fact an R as well as the ABC. And I'd like to just talk through those, because once we understand those 4 principles, everything else will more or less become obvious, or we'll be able to understand how to go about things. And I should emphasize here that we're not looking at any tricks or any black hat techniques, but we're looking at just the solid foundation that doesn't necessarily yield great results overnight. So if you're looking for, you know, an opportunity to make some cash to, you know, pay the rent next week, this isn't going to do it. Interested in becoming an authority in your particular area through the use of YouTube, well then these techniques that we're talking about today are highly relevant. Because in spite of the very high numbers of the viral videos, that doesn't necessarily make you an authority. It certainly gives you a big audience, but you know, your authority, you know, you will have a following, but it may not be wide support, which is what we're really looking for in the business sense here, is having a business with a long tail. You know, its influence continues over many years, and it's quite broad. It's a solid foundation that can weather, you know, different changes that happens, you know, over a period of years or a decade. So let's get down to it and talk about the ABC of YouTube, how to become a YouTube authority. I've made some notes here, and if we've just lost the, oh, here they are, they've come up. So ABC of YouTube. The first one is about audience. I mentioned, viral videos that get millions of people watching it. And, the value of that audience, even though it's maybe measured in millions, may not be as great as a much smaller number that are more engaged. So we're not looking for an audience. If you're an authority, we're not looking for an audience that has a passing or a fleeting interest that clicks once and adds their click to the total, but doesn't necessarily come back again. We're looking for, broad reach, solid foundation. But the numbers are important, and YouTube is going to reward having numbers. There's no doubt about that. The second thing, the B, is the body of work. And here, YouTube rewards those producers who create channels that have, a body of work that, adds up over a period of time. It's a broad-based. It's not just simply a single register. But the more that you have in your channel, the more consideration in ranking YouTube and Google will give you. The C is for consistency. So when you're building up a channel, it's not a matter of uploading a whole lot of clips one day and then that's it, it's done. YouTube looks at your activity over a period of time, so it's much better to upload a video every day, every other day, or consistently once a week, whatever it might be, twice a week, so that they can see, so that the algorithm can see that you're in for the long haul. It's not a fleeting idea that is loses focus at the next distraction. So consistency. So we have audience, body of work in your channel, consistency. And the R is for relevance. You need to be on message. You need to be satisfying what it is that your audience is looking for. Now, how do these things translate? Well, one of the things, particularly the last one, when we're talking about relevance, we control this through the use of keywords, remembering that YouTube is actually a search engine. People go to YouTube with a specific inquiry or a specific problem in mind that they're looking for a solution to. And, there are far more how-to queries probably than any other. And the clearer the question, the easier it is for YouTube to direct you to the appropriate, relevant video. And that's through your keywords. The actual page where you're putting your keywords and descriptions have just actually changed last night, I think. And so it requires a little bit of discovery to go in there to find out where to put them. Initially, it looks as if it's changed, but it hasn't. The format has changed, but that's all. So the name needs to carry the keywords. The description needs to carry the keywords. The keywords and tags all need to be relevant to the particular keyword that relates to the inquiry that people who have a particular problem are making, so that they can find your video. So the narrower the search, the more specific the inquiry, the quicker it will lead to your results. And so it's not so much whether your solution is appropriate for a particular audience, with whether the way you have constructed your delivery is relevant to the experience that your audience is having. Now, we'll get into more of that as we go, through these series, but as a guiding idea, that's a key one. So that's the main areas I wanted to talk about. Just to recap, the audience. You need to be finding that audience. And they will find you, really. Not you find them. They will find you through the keywords that you use, being aligned to the solution that they're looking for, the body of work. So rather than going on to new topics, after you've posted one, explore that area in depth through different topics. Consistency, make your channel grow. So that the amount of activity in the channel gives authority to the channel itself. So each video that you then add to that channel will borrow the authority of the channel itself. So if you put the same video into a new account that had no other activity, it wouldn't get anywhere near the ranking that the same video would get if it went into an authoritative channel. Just to repeat, relevance. Or that the way the information is relevant to the keyword inquiry that people are making, who are looking for that particular solution. So keep this in mind, right from the beginning when you're deciding on your next topic for a YouTube video. So you can line up all these things. It's like that wonderful scene in the classic story of Odysseus, that crazy journey he went on after the sacking of Troy, and he set up this contest when he went back home. He'd been away 7 years, and there were many hanger-oners and unworthy men waiting to just share the spoils if he didn't come back. One of the tasks was to line up all these axe heads. They must have been different to the axe heads today. They had a hollow in them, which was to shoot an arrow through this series of axe heads, to shoot straight, right on task, right on track. Your trajectory has to go, has to meet the goal. So with that rather oblique reference, thanks for watching. I hope you get some value as you think about your next YouTube topic. And just think and put yourself in the shoes of someone who's seeking a solution. How would they go about finding you if they knew there was an answer, your answer, out there, but they didn't know how exactly to find it? What would be the process they would use? And as you together to make your series of videos, they'll find you very easily over a period of time. The longer you stay with it, the more your consistency, the more authority you'll have to your channel. And there's a whole lot of things about building and other techniques for search engine optimization, and there's clear evidence that works, but in the long term, it's not the thing that makes the difference. So with that, I'll wish you good evening and look forward to seeing you. We're going to come here.